works. Okay, so I did sickle cell anemia and right. Hello, I'm Ethan Reinhardt, and I did sickle cell anemia for my project. So, what is sickle cell anemia? Sickle cell anemia is basically a blood disorder where the red blood cells, the oxygen carrying cells, become elongated and they have trouble flowing through the person's blood. They're also found on the 11th chromosome. What causes sickle cell anemia? Well, sickle cell anemia is caused by a defect in beta globin, and beta globin is what helps to make hemoglobin, and it is the part of the red blood cell that carries the oxygen. Sickle cell anemia is inherited, and it's also recessive. So basically, as I have in the pedigree right here, all it needs is to have one parent that either has the disease or a trait, and they can pass it on to their offspring, either giving their offspring a trait or actually having the disease. So here's a picture that shows the chances for having sickle cell anemia if two parents that have the trait have children. And it also, over here on the side, it shows malaria resistance to malaria. So how can sickle cell anemia affect someone? Many of the symptoms just are from blockage and the elongated red blood cells or the sickled cells being clogged in the blood vessels, and that causes many of these symptoms, such as dactylitis. So a crisis is basically every one of those symptoms listed above. Lifespan is decreased with life expectancy for women to be about 48 years and men to be 42. How common is sickle cell anemia? It's not very common because it only affects about 100,000 Americans. It's more common in African Americans and Hispanics, and that goes back to malaria. And malaria is most common around places like Africa, and so you can expect those types of people to have a greater chance to have sickle cell anemia, because sickle cell anemia, it is able to fight off malaria in a way because there's an enzyme that's produced when someone has sickle cell anemia, and it can keep away malaria. How to deal with sickle cell anemia? Bone marrow transplants are a way, and there are blood transfusions. Blood transfusions will help with crises and won't exactly relieve them of their disease, but bone marrow transplants can completely cure it. And so when someone gets a bone marrow transplant, it's basically targeting it at the source, because red blood cells are created in the bone marrow. All right, thank you.